Hey, Kayla, is now a good time to message? There's a little something I was hoping we could discuss.
Huh? Gaston? Sure, I'm free. What is it?
You're already in Washington for your business trip, right? Are you busy with work right now?
We got done with our client meeting way quicker than expected, and now we're just about to check into the hotel. I'll be writing up this week's revenue report when I get to my room, so I'll probably be occupied for a little while. What about you? Shouldn't you be at work yourself? Is something wrong?
This is bad. Apparently the company my brother Derek works for just went bankrupt.
Oh, bankrupt? Where the hell did that come from all of a sudden? So, what's going on, Gaston? How did this happen?
I know, right? He phoned me in a panic earlier on. I was so shocked, but I wanted to do anything I possibly could to help out since I'm his older brother. So I spoke with the boss and he let me dip out of work early just for today. I just got home, so I'm messaging you from the house.
What? You went out of your way to get off work early? What would that accomplish?
Well, listen to this. Here's the problem. Him and his wife were living in company-provided accommodation, and they received an eviction notice saying they had to be out as soon as possible because the company was no longer paying the rent. That's why I had to get away to help him.
Wow, I see. So his living circumstances were entirely dependent on his company? Damn, that sucks. I guess it makes sense that he'd have to move out if it was company accommodation, but damn, I had no idea.
First things first, I need to help them find somewhere else to stay until they get something longer term sorted out. Apparently his wife Lily is pregnant.
Whoa, for real?
He said they only found out the other day themselves. They planned on telling us around the 12th week when all of their tests came back, but the whole bankruptcy thing kinda threw a spanner in the works.
This is nuts. I can't believe he lost his job at a time like this. Talk about bad luck. His wife must be beside herself with worry.
Right? Anyway, I had an idea. I've decided to give my brother and his wife our house.
Huh? What did you just say? By our house, do you mean the house we live in? Don't you mean you're going to let them live with us temporarily until they find somewhere else?
No, I mean I'm literally going to give it to them. I don't know if I can make it any simpler. I mean, I'm going to hand the house over to them. Like, they're going to be its rightful owners, and we're going to move out.
Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm being serious. Do I look like the kind of guy who jokes about things like this? I have to do everything I possibly can for my little brother in his time of need.
I get that Derek's in trouble, and I get that as his big brother, you want to be there to help him out, and I think that's admirable. I really do. But I don't understand how you go from that to giving our house to him and his wife. You do understand that makes us homeless, right? Where are we supposed to go? My parents aren't around anymore, which means we'll have nowhere to go, and we'll pretty much have to get to work on finding a new house from scratch. I am struggling to understand your reasoning here, Gaston. Would you help me out on this one? If we're going to go out of our way to look for a house, surely it'd make more sense to look for one for Derek and his wife rather than causing ourselves a bunch of unnecessary upheaval. I get that losing his job means he won't have any money coming in, so I'm more than happy for us to help him out with the rent if that's what it takes to get him out of this pinch.
We're going to go live with my mom and dad.
Excuse me?
Yep. Don't worry, babe. I already messaged my mom and got permission for us to stay there.
Your mom and dad's house? You do realize they live 2 hours away, right?
Yeah, but my workplace is on the halfway point between here and there, which means it won't impact my commute at all. See? No problem.
But what about me? What am I supposed to do? My workplace is 10 minutes away from our house. Are you saying I have to commute 2 hours to work every day?
So what? Just quit your job and find another one near my folks' place. Jeez, quit making such a big deal out of everything, you big drama queen.
What?
This is a genius plan when you think about it. Derek and his wife don't have to go through the trouble of finding a new place, and we get to live with my mom and dad. You know, I actually amaze myself with how smart I am sometimes.
Smart? That is not the word I would have chosen. Ugh. Don't screw around like this, Gaston, because it's not funny.
Huh?
Why should I have to give up my house for your brother? Are you forgetting that it belongs to me in the first place? It's my frickin' name on the deed. It's not yours to give away.
Your house? What are you talking about? Who the heck do you think you're speaking to, woman? I'm the man of this house, and that is not the kind of tone I expect from you. How about you quit being so selfish and start putting others first for once in your life?
Selfish?
Yeah, you heard me, selfish. You're my wife, and it's your job to do as I damn well tell ya. That's the plan, and it's a damn good one.
No, it is not. It's not okay for you to just hand over my house to someone else, especially without even asking me first. I mean, come on, it doesn't matter if he's your brother or not. It's still my property we're talking about here. You can't just make decisions like that without considering how it affects me, Gaston. It's not fair, and honestly, it's kind of hurtful.
God damn it, why do you have to be so stubborn? If you resist me on this one, I'll just divorce you.
Wow, are you serious? You're really gonna bring divorce into this?
If you don't like it, quit defying me and accept that we're giving the goddamn house to my brother. I'll be done packing our stuff together by the day after tomorrow when you get back from your business trip, so make sure you hand in your resignation by then, okay? We're starting a new chapter here, babe, and I want us both to be fully committed on it.
Do not touch my things. I'll get my stuff together myself.
Fine, have it your way. I take it that means you're at least on board with the move now, then? Ha! I guess there is a brain in there somewhere.
I came back to the house from my business trip to get my things together, but I knew something wasn't right as soon as I arrived. Gaston, what the hell do you think you're playing at? What are your brother Derek and his wife doing in our house?
Duh, what did you expect? I told you we were giving them the place. I left so they could move in.
I can't believe I'm even having to ask you this, but did you already move your stuff to your mom and dad's place?
Of course, all my stuff is there already. It didn't take as much work as I expected. As for your things, I didn't touch them, just like you asked. But as of today, that house belongs to Derek and his wife, which means you need to get your things together and get out as soon as possible. If it's too much for you to do on your own, I'm happy to help.
I won't be needing you to do that, because I'm not moving in the first place.
Huh? You better be joking. You already agreed to the move.
No, I did not.
Huh?
Why should I have to move out of my own house?
Because I told you to. We're giving it to my brother and his wife in their time of need, like I already told you. Oh, and you need to make sure you leave behind all of the furniture and household appliances. Their old company accommodation came with everything included, so they didn't have anything to bring with them. So don't you dare try running off with the toaster or washing machine. I felt bad for them, so I decided to give them not only the house itself, but everything in it.
Maybe I didn't make it clear enough before.
Make what clear enough?
The fact that this is my house and you have no right to give it away?
God damn it, Kayla, are you still harping on about this crap? Quit dreaming. You're in fantasy land.
All right, let me rephrase it. It was me who inherited this house. Does that help? Do you understand now?
Huh?
The house and the land it's built on used to belong to my dad. In fact, it even goes earlier than that because it was passed down through generations until my dad's day. And when he passed away, I inherited it. If my memory serves me correctly, this house has been in my family for over 100 years.
Huh?
For God's sake, Gaston, do you still not understand? What else can I even say at this point? When my dad, who was the legal owner of the house and whose name was written on the deed, passed away, ownership was transferred to me, which means now it's mine.
Holy crap, what did you just say?
Anyway, have you even thought this through? Who's been paying fixed asset taxes on the place this whole time? It certainly wasn't you. So what makes you think you have the right to give it away to whomever you see fit? How about city planning taxes? Go on. Why don't you tell me who pays them? It's okay. I'll wait. If you still don't believe me, how about I show you the deed, or the ownership registration certificate, or my dad's last will and testament, or the inheritance tax forms? Would that help you to understand? My name is clearly written under the owner section on all of them.
Are you for real?
That's my line. I have no idea how you could make a misunderstanding of such epic proportions. You knew my parents lived in this house when they were alive, so what would make you think it belonged to you in the first place? My mom passed away back when I was in high school. As for my dad, he joined her a few years later, at which point I inherited everything, what with being their only child and all. It doesn't take a legal genius to understand there's no situation in which you could possibly inherit a house from my parents.
Oh, I see.
What's that supposed to mean? Are we finally making progress here?
To be honest, I never really gave it much thought.
Huh?
So listen, babe, you have my surname, right? What with us being married and all? Which means the surname on the door plate is also mine. The surname on the mail is mine, and the surname we use whenever we apply for things related to the house is also mine. When you look at it that way, everything points to the house belonging to me.
There's just one tiny problem with that, Gaston. Legal ownership of a house isn't decided by how things look from the outside. It's decided by law.
I didn't know that.
Jesus, Gaston. All right, I don't think there's much point in continuing this conversation any further. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm going to be dropping off those signed divorce papers you left on the kitchen table. I noticed you were thoughtful enough to leave them out for me, so thanks for that.
What?
I'm actually on my way to hand them in as we speak.
But why?
I'm guessing you left them behind as a threat to try and bully me into changing my mind about the house and agreeing to move with you and let your brother and his wife have the place. Unfortunately for you, I never had any intention of moving whatsoever, so I'm more than happy to divorce.
No, don't do it. Will you change your mind if I kick my brother out and come back?
If only life was so simple, huh? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Derek told me all about you and your mom's plan.
What? What plan? I don't know about any plan. Nope, not me. I'm totally in the dark here.
Drop the act, Gaston. You know your mom has never liked me, and she wanted to use this whole thing as an opportunity to force me into living with her so she could boss me around and use me as her own personal slave. I heard you guys also both quit your jobs in anticipation of me coming and taking over the rent payments to support you both so you could laze around the house all day.
Holy crap. Derek told you all that? What the hell does that idiot think he's doing? Hang on a sec, how does he even know?
Apparently he overheard you and your mom plotting on the phone. If you don't mind, I think I'll pass on being tricked into living with your slave-driving mother so she can bully and abuse me until she's too old to do it anymore. I also have no intention of financially supporting her or her lazy, good-for-nothing, jobless loser of a son. So if I were you, I'd probably start looking for work again soon. I've never heard of anyone quitting their job for such an absurd reason. Talk about going off someone. I wouldn't stay married to a loser like you even if you paid me to. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I have some divorce papers to hand in.
Kayla, no!
Bye.
Kayla! What the heck's happening here? Kayla!
Oh, hi, Gaston. It's been a while. What do you want?
Why are my brother Derek and his family living in your house? I just saw him through the window and his kids out playing on the lawn. I thought you said you weren't going to give it to him. This isn't fair.
I didn't give them it. They're renting it.
Huh? Renting? What do you mean they were renting? Explain yourself now.
It was all agreed on around the time of the divorce. It was just like you said. They genuinely were struggling and needed a helping hand, so at first I decided to let them stay for free for a short while. After a few weeks, Derek found a new job, which meant he could finally start paying rent again. He found him and his wife a place with a cheap realtor that does monthly contracts, and after about a month, they moved out of my house. Not long after that, I was told by my boss that I was being transferred to another branch out of state.
Huh? You got a job transfer?
Yep. With that, I decided to put my house up on the rental market, and when I did, apparently Derek and his wife saw it online when they were looking for something longer term, so they reached out to me. Since I know and trust them, and since they're actually sane and reliable, unlike you, I decided to take it off the realtor site and rent it to them directly. I had them sign a contract, and, well, that's pretty much it. So that's what happened, and that's why they've been living there all this time.
Holy crap, are you being serious?
So tell me, Gaston, what exactly do you want? Why are you bothering me after all this time?
You see, the thing is, my mom got involved in a pretty serious accident. And it turns out she's going to be spending the rest of her life in a wheelchair. Of course, that means she needs full-time care, and, well, I just can't do it on my own. It's a really tough situation, and I feel overwhelmed trying to figure out how to manage everything. I want to be there for her because she's my mom, but it's a lot more than I can handle alone.
Wow, you mean you're messaging me after all this time to try and convince me to give things with you another shot? Because your mom's in a wheelchair?
Yup, exactly. So what do you say, baby? How about me and you give things another go? Let's rekindle the flame of our romance, Kayla.
Our romance is deader than Jeffrey Epstein, and it didn't kill itself. No way.
What the hell? Why not?
I was made abundantly aware of how much your mom dislikes me, which is why I went out of my way to avoid her as much as humanly possible. I guess that's why she felt like she had to resort to underhanded measures to trick me into living with her. Because she knew damn well I'd never agree to it otherwise. I always had my doubts about your mom, but when I found out what a selfish, domineering asshole you were, I completely lost all hope in you, too. I would have had to have been out of my mind to move in with a pair of maniacs like you. Anyway, I live ages away in a different state now. Not that I'm going to tell you which one. Remember the work transfer I told you about? Well, it looks like I won't be coming back to Michigan for a long time.
Holy mother of God. Wait a sec. Are you telling me I have to deal with my mom all by myself?
Huh? Oh, of course. How silly of me to forget. Your brother Derek and his wife disowned you, didn't they? Based on what I've heard, he was pretty furious when he heard you were trying to use him and his wife as a tool to get me to go and live with your mom. He washed his hands of the both of you, didn't he? It's nice to know not everyone in your family has a personality disorder.
You heard about that? Well, that was,
Anyway, me and you are complete strangers now, so I'd really appreciate if you never messaged me again for the rest of your life. Quit trying to drag me into your family's bullshit, okay?
Oh my God, wait! Listen, Kayla, please. I'm actually outside your house with my wheelchair-bound mom right now. I was hoping you'd be able to take us both in and care for her, starting today. Do you have any idea how much I paid on transport fees? It's not easy to move someone in a wheelchair, you know? You used to be her daughter-in-law, for God's sakes, Kayla. Have you no heart? Please, there must be something you can do for us.
But I'm not her daughter-in-law anymore, am I? If you'll excuse me, I have a Zoom meeting with a company from Sweden in a minute. Goodbye forever.
Kayla, baby! No!
After the divorce, Gaston moved in with his mom and found another job. However, when his mom had her accident, he found it impossible to juggle work and caring for her. So he had no choice but to hand in his resignation after just a few months. Apparently, they live on food stamps and disability support now, and things aren't going great for them. They're pretty much on the breadline, and every day is a struggle. I'm guessing he remembered my house had a barrier-free support. Unfortunately for him, I'm not such a pushover that I'd forgive the jerk who tried forcing me to give away my house as part of a ploy to trick me into moving in with his psycho mom. Thankfully, he couldn't track me down since I moved out of state for my work transfer. To add insult to injury, he arrived to find his little brother Derek and his wife, both of whom had disowned him, living in the barrier-free house he so desperately wanted to get his hands on. Derek said he couldn't be happier to see his wayward older brother and deranged mother get their just desserts. Caring for an elderly disabled woman can't be easy, but if there's anyone who deserves to do it all on his own in abject misery, it's Gaston. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Shauna, what's wrong with you? Our plane is about to leave. We're going on our honeymoon. Why did you get back in the car and drive off?
I
don't think you have time to be making any phone calls right now. Don't you have to make your flight? You better hurry.
You know that's not the problem. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? I'd like to ask you the same question. What are you thinking?
What do you mean?
When we got to the airport, I was so excited to go on our first ever vacation as husband and wife. Just the two of us enjoying the sights, relaxing in the hotel, doing everything we've talked about for the last few months we've been planning it. But then when we got to the airport, your mother was waiting for us, suitcase in hand, and dressed like a cliched depiction of an old tourist. And you weren't surprised in the least to see her. You just said, "This is gonna be great, Shauna. Just you, me, and my mom." So I repeat, what are you thinking?
What's your problem? Mom said she wanted to go, so...
Don't you think it's slightly unusual for a new husband to bring his mother along on his honeymoon? If you want to go on a trip with her, that's fine. I think that would be nice to plan a family vacation together with her. But why, Cody? Why, oh why, does she have to come along with us on our honeymoon?
Well, Mom said she wanted to go, and...
Do you have anything else to say for yourself other than things your mom said? Whatever, I hope you enjoy your time with your dear mother on this vacation.
But...
Who knows, maybe you can start a trend of going on honeymoons with your mother. We'll have to give it a trendy abbreviation. How about Honey Mom? That has a nice ring to it.
But, Shauna...
Bye, Cody. Hey, Ellie, about our plan to meet up in the hotel lobby tomorrow, I'm really sorry, but plans have changed. Aw, really? I was really looking forward to seeing you. We haven't seen each other for, 3 years now? That's way too long. What happened, Shauna? Don't tell me you guys canceled your honeymoon. Oh boy, how should I put this? Cody and his mom are going together. They should be boarding the plane right about now. As for me, though, I'm in the car on my way back home. What? His mom? Hold on. Cody and his mom are going on your honeymoon? Wait, that doesn't really sound like a honeymoon to me. Oh, did I maybe hear you wrong? I thought I remembered you were taking a vacation this weekend. Did I mix up your plans for your honeymoon with a different trip? Nope, you got it right. I understand the weirdness of it all must be pretty hard to digest. Honestly, I'm still in a state of shock that it's difficult to even put a proper sentence together. Let me back up and explain things how they happened, in order this time. So, Cody and I drove to the airport together in our car like normal, but when we got there, his mom was waiting for us with her suitcase in hand and dressed like a tourist. I thought, oh, well, this is a coincidence. Cody's mom is going on vacation the same weekend we are. But then Cody broke the news to me that his mother would be accompanying us on our honeymoon. I was so shocked, angry, and disappointed that I walked right back to the car and started driving. Oh my God! That's the grossest example of a real-life Oedipus complex that I've ever seen. Yuck, you think that's what's going on? Think about it. Did Cody put up even the slightest resistance to his mother coming on your honeymoon? From what you told me, it sounds like he was excited for it. And what about his mom? She's a married woman herself. She knows exactly what a honeymoon is for, and yet she still imposed herself on you? And look at what the result was. Cody and his mom now have a weeks-long vacation in paradise together while you're stuck back at home. Not to mention the fact that she was waiting for you at the airport rather than driving there together with you. To me, that looks like they both planned this all along. You think they wanted this to happen? I bet they figured that if she was at the airport waiting and ready to go, that it would be harder for you to say no to her coming along. The only question in my mind is whether they planned on you turning around and going home or if it was a pleasant surprise. Wow, I hate to say it, but you might be right. Thanks, Ellie. It's good to hear what an objective observer thinks of the situation. I see everything way clearer now. I'm glad I could help. But geez, I can't believe Cody is the type of guy that would do this. Right? I'm surprised too. Before we got married, he just seemed like an upstanding and responsible man who cared deeply for his mother. It was an admirable quality of his, or so I thought. So what are you gonna do now? Well, for now, I'm gonna go straight home, get my credit cards, jewelry, and other important stuff, and get set up in a hotel somewhere. What happens after that is gonna depend on what Cody and his mom do next. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan to me. Again, I'm really sorry our plans fell through, Ellie. I was really looking forward to seeing you. Oh, don't worry about it, Shauna. You did nothing wrong. You just go and do what you need to. Treat yourself to a nice dinner and a hot bath tonight. And don't forget, you have people around you who would turn at the drop of a hat to help you out. Like your parents and me. Yeah, thanks, Ellie.
Come on, Shauna. I thought that you would have come to your senses and come right back after that. Don't tell me you actually went home. Did you? Why are you so determined to avoid spending time with my mom? Don't forget, we're husband and wife now. That means she's your mom, too. And after all she's done for us, why can't we let her come along on our honeymoon? She deserves that and much more. I never thought you would be so childish as to run home and pout when things don't go your way. Well, you can have it your way. We're not changing our plans. Mom and I are going to go on this vacation. We're going to spend the whole time together, and we're going to have a great time. And another thing, once we get back, I've decided that we're going to move back in with my mom. You need someone to whip you into shape, and my mom's just the person to do it. She's going to train you in how to be a good wife who respects her mother-in-law, and you're going to be grateful for it.
Shauna, this is bad. Ellie, what's wrong? I just ran across Cody a while ago. What? And get this, you know the hotel that you two booked for your vacation? Well, the two of them have been staying there since yesterday. Together. Oh no, you're joking, right? My husband thought it might be nice for us to get out of the house for a few nights and stay in a hotel, like a little mini vacation. And since I wasn't going to be able to meet up with you anymore, we thought we'd take a little walk around the town and enjoy ourselves for the morning. But when we were leaving our room, I ran into Cody. Wow, crazy coincidence. Was his mom with him too? Later last night, he sent me a vomit-inducing text about how he and his mom were going to go on the vacation without me so they can get all lovey-dovey. Ugh, makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it. It's kind of worse than that. He was walking hand in hand with, a much younger woman. A much younger woman? I don't know who she is. I'd never seen her before, so I can't tell you for sure what was going on. All I can tell you is that she looked like she was in her early 20s and was definitely not your mother-in-law. Oh, and my husband said he managed to take a video of them together while he was pretending to take a picture of me. I'll send it to you later. Gotcha. Thanks, Ellie. To tell you the truth, though, I actually received information about that from a source of my own. That source is working as we speak to confirm a few things. Oh, wow. See? I told you had allies. You were totally right. The video your husband took should still be really helpful, so go ahead and send it to me when you get the chance. Gotcha. I'll have him send it to me right now. Great. I'll be waiting.
Shauna, what is this? You're divorcing me?
Huh? Oh, right. Today's the day you came home from your honeymoon. Did you enjoy your trip?
Don't dodge the issue. You're divorcing me? Why?
I think it's pretty obvious. Do you really need me to tell you?
Yes! Explain yourself! Are you still mad about the whole honeymoon thing? Is that what this is? I told you you were in the wrong for being such an immature little brat about the situation. If you hadn't been so appallingly disrespectful to my mom, we could have all enjoyed a lovely vacation. Do you have any idea how much it hurt my mom when you drove off and left us at the airport? But in spite of your awful behavior, Mom was generous enough to offer to take us into her home so she could train you in how to be a good wife. You should be kissing the ground where she walks. I can't think of anyone else who would be so forgiving and kind after being disrespected as much as she was.
If she were such a generous and kind mother like you say she is, she wouldn't have imposed herself on our honeymoon in the first place. Furthermore, she wouldn't have introduced the daughter of the man she was cheating on her husband with to her own married son.
Huh? You're not making any sense. I was with Mom the whole time we were over there.
Look, I'll save you the embarrassment of inventing some ridiculous cover story and just tell you everything I know up front. I know that your mom is cheating on your dad, and I know that you are cheating on me.
No way!
Once she knew that I would no longer be coming along, she went and called up her boyfriend and had him bring his daughter along to mess around with you, right?
But how?
I was planning on meeting up with an old friend of mine at the hotel we were going to stay at, remember?
Well, yeah, I remembered that, but you weren't there, so what does that have to do with anything?
A lot, actually. She and her husband were staying at that hotel since the day before you guys got there.
They were?
Yes, they were. And what's more, they also saw you walking around holding hands with some younger woman.
Uh-oh.
But wait, there's more. Her husband nonchalantly pretended to be taking a picture of her, but do you know what he was really taking a picture of? You and your little bimbo. They took a video that clearly shows both of your faces, which I now have in my possession.
This can't be happening.
Yes, it can, and it is happening. You've been caught, Cody.
But wait a minute, that still doesn't make any sense. You knew that she's the daughter of the man my mom's having an affair with? How did you figure that out? Who told you? You'd better have some hard evidence of that, or else you're just gonna get laughed out of court. All you have is a video of us holding hands together. That doesn't prove anything. Maybe I was just helping a blind girl find the bathroom.
Oh, that's where your dad comes in.
My dad?
That's right. The one who provided me the evidence I needed to prove that you were cheating on me was none other than your father.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'd imagine that as we speak, he's having a very loud and very angry discussion with your mother about this very issue. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in your kitchen.
Oh, no. Poor Mom. This is awful. My parents are getting divorced. Why is this happening? How did my dad find out?
Is that really the most important issue for you and your mom right now?
It doesn't make any sense. Mom was impeccable about hiding it from him. I mean, my dad usually doesn't even realize whether Mom's at home or not. She'll go out to the store for an hour, and when she comes back, he never realized she left.
It's precisely that overconfidence of yours that puts you in the position you're in right now.
What do you mean?
A while back, Mom had you plan a date with her boyfriend for her because she apparently wanted to go on a date like you young people have. You were kind enough to write it all out for her in large, easy-to-read handwriting, and Mom left that memo out on the kitchen table.
Oh, shoot, she did?
There was something odd about that date plan, though. You went out of your way to indicate that the restaurant had an allergy-free menu. But does anyone in your family have allergies? Your mom doesn't, you don't, your dad doesn't, and I don't. So why? That was the first thing that made Dad suspicious about Mom. He spent the next 6 months using various means to collect all the information he could, and that brings us to today. Come to find out, your mom's boyfriend has a shellfish allergy, and a serious one at that.
Are you saying it's my fault?
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about our divorce.
So you're really divorcing me?
Yes, and I'm also suing you for cheating on me. I've retained a lawyer to handle the suit for me, so if you have any questions, you can address them to him.
Hey, Shauna, look, I mean, it was only during our honeymoon, that was it. It didn't mean anything. I was just bored is all. Mom went off with her boyfriend, so I was stuck all alone with nothing to do.
I noticed that wasn't a denial.
Please, Shauna, can't we talk about this?
Not a chance, you cheating scumbag!
Please!
I was already going to divorce you when your Oedipus complex reared its ugly head. This affair was just the icing on the cake.
Hey, I do not have an Oedipus complex, whatever that means.
I want to get divorced and settle our lawsuit as quickly as possible, so do answer my lawyer's calls, please. Goodbye.
Shauna!
Not only did he actively aid his mom in having and hiding her affair, Cody even went so far as to have an affair with the woman his mother threw at him, out of boredom. I think this exceeds the level of just an Oedipus complex. And yet, in spite of all that, he still tried to fight the divorce. Thanks to the untiring work of my lawyer, after 2 months of encouragement, he finally agreed to enter mediation. We settled my lawsuit against him for his affair, and he paid the whole thing in a lump sum. Now, as for Cody and his mother, since his mom's boyfriend broke up with her, they couldn't rely on him for assistance, so the two divorced cheaters ended up renting an apartment together. The mental and financial stress proved too much for his mom, who started going haywire in short order. Her overprotective nature towards her son worsened exponentially, to the point where she's screaming at him every night to quit his job and work in an office where there aren't any women. Honestly, though, between the settlement leaving him bankrupt and having to live with his psychotic mother, I don't think his mom needs to worry about any woman stealing him away from her in the foreseeable future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey there, Liana. Do you know who I am? Go on and guess. Who are you? Didn't you read my last message? I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta guess. I gave you one chance to tell me who you are, which is more than you deserved. I'm very busy and have much more important things to do than play Guess Who with some random nobody. Get over yourself. Just guess. Looks like this is either a stupid prank or you've got the wrong number, so I'm just gonna block your number now. Wait, don't do that. I've got something to tell you that I know you're gonna want to hear. My name is Alyssa, and I'm your husband's girlfriend. Huh? By my husband, do you mean Jacob? Yeah, that's him. Ugh, old women are so boring. I wanted to keep you in the dark for longer, just to have a little fun at your expense, but you went and made me spill the beans too early. Boring. Do women just instantly become humorless losers when they turn 30 or something? I hope I never turn 30. Leaving the dark implications of that aside, would you mind telling me how old you are, Alyssa? Who, me? I'm 20. I am a college girl in the pinnacle of my youth. The pinnacle of your youth? Yeah, that's what I just said. Right. It's just that I've never actually heard anyone in the pinnacle of their youth use the term, the pinnacle of my youth, before. Yeah, and so what? You got a problem with that? Problem? Nah, no problem at all. You're free to use whatever phrases you like to describe yourself. That phrase in particular, though, is typically used by women in their 60s looking back at pictures of themselves in their late teens. That and men in their 60s looking at women in their 20s. Seriously, what's your problem? I'm not in my 60s. I'm a young, healthy woman, unlike you. Maybe not, but I think I know exactly why you're using that phrase. Let me guess. Jacob talks about you that way. Oh, well, I guess he does. You're right. Isn't he great? He always speaks to me in such poetic ways. It shows how head over heels in love with me he is. Head over heels? There's another phrase I don't think anyone's used for the last 20 years at least. Why are you letting some geezer have such a strong influence on the way you talk? Your friends your age are gonna laugh at you. No, they would never laugh at me. Now, would you stop nitpicking every single one of my messages? You are so obnoxious. Sorry, my bad. You know how women over 20 are. We just can't help but beat on women younger and prettier than us. Well, at least you're self-conscious about it. And by the way, do not call my Jacob some geezer. He's the love of my life. Oh, how could I be so insensitive as to call my husband, who you claim to be dating, a geezer? My deepest apologies. So, what do you want? Why did you choose to out yourself as my husband's mistress like this? What's your angle, Alyssa? You want to know what my angle is? I thought that should be obvious. All I want from you is to admit that you've lost, divorce Jacob, and let me have him. Wait a minute. Are you going to sit there and tell me that you want to marry that pathetic old geezer? What did I just tell you about calling him that? I mean, what the hell is even going on with you? What's up with your attitude? Calling your own husband a pathetic old geezer? I mean, you're supposed to be his wife. You are his wife, aren't you? For real? Yep. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the truth is that I've known that Jacob has been cheating on me for quite some time now. But to think a man his age was fooling around with some little girl who's not even old enough to drink yet? Yuck, it just makes me want to puke. Tell me, how was your trip to Hawaii? Did you make it all right? Have you settled into your hotel yet? You knew about that? Well, that's weird. He told me you were completely in the dark. But, Oh well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Yep, we're in gorgeous Hawaii right now. But you want to know what the best part is? We paid for the whole trip with your credit card, you stupid old hag. What? That's right. We're going to have the trip of a lifetime using your money. Wait a second. My credit card? You mean you took the credit card out of my wallet and took it with you to Hawaii? Oh, don't look at me. I didn't do it. It was all Jacob's idea. He's the one who took it while you weren't paying attention. And he is generous enough to let me use it to do all the shopping I want. I might even pick out a wedding dress while I'm here. I have a huge list of things I want to buy, and you're going to pay for all of it. Goodness gracious, it seems like you're completely unaware of how credit cards work. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm 20 years old, not 2. Everyone my age knows how to use credit cards. You take your items to the register, swipe the card in the machine, and poof! Like magic, it's all yours. What else is there to understand? That's literally how credit cards work. Now, if you'll excuse me, Jacob and I just got done with a long plane flight, so we're going to go ahead and lay down in bed. Don't worry, though, we're not sleeping together. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to stay up all night long. Have fun, I guess. Enjoy it while it lasts. Hello, Granny. Oh my God, we are having so much fun with your credit card. How does that make you feel, huh? Hey, are you there? Hello? Seriously, Liana, I know you're super duper jealous of me and your husband, but why won't you ever message me back? You're way too old to be acting like such a little brat, you know that? It's really lame. Oh well, I'll go ahead and write a list of all the things I've bought with your money so far. Here it goes. Alyssa, was it? Look, I understand that you're very young and inexperienced in the world, but you graduated from high school, didn't you? You're going to college at least, so you can't be telling me you've never heard of time zones. Huh? It's the middle of the night over here. If you'd like to gloat over stealing my husband away from me, then could you please look up what the time difference is between here and Hawaii and message me at a more reasonable time? Oh, shut up, Granny. I'll message you whenever I want to. So anyway, here's the list of all the stuff you've bought for me. Do you really think you're hurting me at all when you call me old Granny or whatever? I may have just about a decade on you in years, but first of all, that's hardly enough of an age gap for you to be calling me old. And second, I am not now, nor will I ever be ashamed of the fact that I have more experience and knowledge than you. That sounds exactly like what an old woman would say. Right. Well then, moving on. I've been trying to contact Jacob for the last few days to ask him when he plans on coming back from Hawaii, but he's not responding to my messages. Looks like he hasn't even read them. I assume that means he's blocked my number, so I thought I'd go ahead and confirm it with you. Are you planning on being back within the week? Like Saturday evening or something? Yeah, that's right. Hey, wait a minute. Is that really all you care about, when he's coming home? And one more thing, I decided to stay over at my parents' house for the time being. Okay, and? I'll leave the divorce agreement I had my lawyer put together on the table. Have Jacob look it over, sign it, and then the two of you are free to do whatever you want. Really? You mean I'm gonna get to live in your huge mansion? Mansion? Finally, I am so happy. You're finally getting out of our way. Me and Jacob can finally be together. Oh, and one more thing. I'm suing the both of you for your affair, so be prepared for that. Oh, really? Whatever, that's cool. Go ahead and sue us for however much you want. It won't make any difference to me. I'll just pay whatever the bill comes to with your credit card. You're gonna try to pay me with my own credit card? Duh, why wouldn't I? Anyway, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, Granny. I need to get back to the bedroom. Jacob's waiting for me with a massive plate of room service that you're paying for. I think the fact that I don't have to pay for any of this food makes it taste even better. Bye-bye. Oh boy. Well, have fun, I guess. Hey, what gives? I just tried to use your credit card, but it didn't work. What did you do, Liana? You're just now figuring that out? I knew it. I knew you were behind this. Tell me what you did. Yeah, about that. I called the credit card company and had it deactivated days ago. You what? I knew just as soon as Jacob left the house to head to the airport that he had taken my credit card with him. He apparently just has too big of an ego to realize that I was aware of every single thing he was doing. It was clear that he was intending to rack up a massive bill at my expense, so I made the call immediately to report it stolen and have it deactivated. I'm just surprised it took you this long to notice. Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I was using it with no problems until a little bit ago. What's going on? Remember a few days ago when I told you that you don't understand how credit cards work? Unauthorized use of someone else's credit card is illegal, even if the person using it is the owner's family member. That includes spouses, too. Are you serious? And the person who uses it is responsible for compensating the owner for every last cent that they spend. Again, it doesn't matter if they're married to the owner. Oh, no. I had no idea. Come on, girl, really? What did you think a credit card was? Did you think it was like a money tree or something? The money just magically appears out of thin air? Are you really going to college with a brain like that? Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about it that much. By the way, does Jacob have my credit card right now? Yeah, I think he does. He said that we'd be in trouble if we lost it or something, so he's been holding on to it. I see. Well, it looks to me like he's been paying for everything you've bought over there with his own credit card, not mine. What? Let me explain this to you in the simplest terms possible. Jacob took my credit card along with him on the trip because he didn't think I would notice. However, I did notice, and I moved immediately to report it stolen and have it deactivated. This put him in an uncomfortable situation, though. You, his mistress, were overjoyed at the prospect of not only stealing my husband, but also stealing thousands upon thousands of dollars from me. There was no way he could tell you that his master plan failed and that you would no longer be able to live large on his wife's dollar. So, you mean... So he lied to you. He told you that all of that money was coming out of my pocket when he was actually just using his own card. He put on a front just to impress you and make you happy. And now that you're about halfway through your trip, you finally exceeded the credit limit on Jacob's own credit card. The credit card company shut it down on their end to keep you from going any further over your limit. That sounds about right to me. Wait, are you telling me that Jacob has already spent all of his money on our trip to Hawaii? That he's penniless now? Did you happen to bring any cash with you, Alyssa? You might need it. No, I didn't bring any money at all. I figured that we were going to be able to use your credit card the whole time. I had no idea this would happen. And I have never had a credit card of my own. My parents have been paying for all my college expenses. My, oh my, you are in a world of trouble, aren't you? What am I going to do now? Like I know, you two lovebirds are going to have to figure out a way out of this mess by yourselves. What? You have to help us. What is it that you want me to do about your situation, Alyssa? I'm not in Hawaii. It's not like I could just walk over to your hotel and hand you a stack of cash. You can mail it to us or something. Uh-oh, looks like my phone is running out of battery. Hey! Gotta go charge my phone. Enjoy the rest of your trip. Wait, you can't just leave me like this. Liana, send me some money. I want a new pair of shoes. This cannot be happening. You call this a house? This isn't a house. It would barely even pass for a storage shed. I'm glad to see you managed to get back home without issue. Tell me, whatever did you do for the last half of your trip without any money? I'm curious how you managed to get by. Nothing. That's what we did. We didn't set foot outside the hotel room for the rest of the trip. The only reason we didn't starve is because Jacob booked us a meal plan along with the hotel. If that wasn't already paid for, we'd both be nothing but shriveled husks by now. Oh, that's great. Just goes to show you every cloud has a silver lining. This isn't a time for glass half full platitudes, Liana. I asked you a question. Now answer me. What the hell is up with your house? I thought you lived in a massive mansion next door. Huh? Oh, that house. Yeah, that house isn't ours. That's our landlord's house. Your landlord? So that's where you were confused. I was wondering what you were talking about when you mentioned living in a huge mansion. I don't understand. Our house was actually a guest house that our landlord built on part of his property. He didn't use it very often, though, so he had it renovated slightly into a standalone house and put it up for rental. That's why there's still that fancy stone fence wrapping around it. He only cut out a little bit of it in order to build a driveway. A lot of people who come by make the same mistake you did and end up going to our landlord's house looking for us. The address is almost exactly the same. The house number is just 310 instead of 312. Oh no. Oh, this can't be happening. So, Jacob's not a rich guy living in a huge mansion? Nope. He's just a mid-level employee at a mid-sized business. Earning an average salary and living in an average-sized house. There's not much about him that isn't average. For the record, I actually make a little bit more money than he does. No way! Yes way, believe it or not, it's the truth. So I'm sorry to say, but you most likely won't be able to count on him paying your upcoming legal bills for you. You're gonna have to manage somehow on your own. Good luck! What? Oh, and one more thing. You don't need to waste your time telling your parents about your situation. I already contacted them for you. What did you do that for? I thought they might like to know what their daughter was doing with her time while she was supposed to be attending the college classes they were paying for. They felt so terrible about everything you've done to me, it was almost painful to watch them apologizing so profusely. They told me they weren't going to stand for this behavior from you and that they were going to pull their financial support. Oh, and not just for your college tuition, they said they wouldn't pay your legal bills either. You mean I'm gonna have to drop out of college? Well, that's a decision you'll have to make for yourself. Anyway, anything else you'd like to say to me, you can say to my lawyer. Your lawyer? I'm no good at explaining things to people with an IQ lower than room temperature. I think the details on what will happen to you next should come directly from a professional. Consider it an important part of your civic education. Not many people get first-hand experience with courts, lawyers, and lawsuits at your age. I don't want that kind of experience. I want fun. I bet you had plenty of fun in Hawaii, for the first part of your trip anyway. And with that, I have nothing more to say to you. Goodbye, Alyssa. Hey, wait, you can't do this to me! That evening, Jacob and Alyssa got into a massive argument about, well, just about everything. It got so bad that the neighbors ended up calling the police because they thought there was a domestic fight going on. This was too much for our landlord to deal with, so he immediately started eviction procedures. As for Alyssa, her parents came into town to pick her up and took her back to live with them on their farm outside of the city. Just as they had promised me, they cut off her funding, leaving her completely incapable of paying for her college education. She dropped out, and with no other job, they forced her to do the thing she hated most of all, manual labor. Perhaps somewhere between the sweat, dust, and manure, she'll learn a lesson or two, but I'm not very hopeful. A few months later, Jacob called me and begged me to take him back. Apparently, once his parents found out about precisely why he and I got divorced, they were so furious that they disowned him as their son and wrote him out of their will. Between their extravagant Hawaiian vacation and his alimony payments to me, all of Jacob's savings have vanished into thin air. And since all of his friends had abandoned him as well, there was no one else that he could turn to but me. Unfortunately for him, I was already seeing someone else, so I turned him down. Don't get me wrong, though, I wouldn't have taken him back even if I was single. As soon as I told him that, his end of the call went completely silent for a few seconds, followed by the sounds of him crying at the top of his lungs. I hung up the phone to let him sort out his emotional issues by himself. With him out of my life, I have found peace for the first time in as long as I can remember.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.